For those who don't know, my name is Eric Coffie, and I interview the world's top entrepreneurs. And today we're looking at a veteran who grew his business from 20 employees to 225 employees, from 1 million in revenue to 15 million in revenue. And we're going to show you a breakdown of exactly what he did so that you can steal that formula and replicate it for yourself. If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned to the end and we'll reveal exactly who this person is so you can go out and watch the full interview. So today we're looking at the growth strategy that Shane used in his video that we discussed over a year ago, because what he realized was that acquiring a firm was faster way to enter the market than through traditional building a business. Significant employee revenue came with it. He used SBA finance to leverage his purchase, and it came with existing contracts so that he could grow and scale that organization. So who is Shane? Let's take a look at Shane. So he comes from a military background. He was in the Army doing IT and comms work over in Afghanistan. But when he transitioned out of the military, he worked for a company after his graduation that taught him about mergers and acquisitions. Again, he's super young because he just graduated from the military. So now he's learning about mergers and acquisitions, and then he co-founds an organization called Falcon Tech and GovBrew, which demonstrate his business acumen. From there, what he did was he realized that since there were so many existing baby boomers out there, and he had been working in the offices of a firm, reviewing cases, looking at businesses, evaluating them, making those recommendations, he learned that there was, because of the baby boomer situation, that he could find an acquisition target to buy. And so what he did was he realized that, okay, he spent time looking at existing contracts that offered an attractive value and inefficiencies in what they were doing, and that by acquisition, it would give him a leg up to start the business. So within 7 to 8 months it took him of searching, he found a small service-disabled veteran-owned business. Obviously, he's a veteran, so that made sense to him. And then what he did was the company at that time had approximately 20 employees, but what it gave him was active prime and subcontract vehicles that existed. He did his financing through an SBA loan. So his SBA loan, he got acquired through First Citizens Bank. The closing process took roughly 3 to 5 months. He delegated the lending authority to the banks so they could do expedited approval. And then the financing process was totally leveraged by the SBA with very little resources coming out of his pocket. Are you frustrated and you still haven't figured out how to do federal contracts just yet? Join us May 28th, our next cohort for our GovCon Accelerator. Visit below govconcoaching.com for more information. But we've got all new 2025 trainings. We've got new templates. We've incorporated some of our past boot camps, like our first partner challenge and our proposal boot camp that's included. Plus, we're bringing in industry experts to help teach some of the trainings and provide some of the additional resources that you need in terms of learning from people who are actually doing this in the field. No one else is doing anything like this. In addition to all of our email scripts, phone scripts, everything that's in our GovCon Vault that has all the templates that you need that you can plug and play into any of the AI tools. Plus, depending upon where you're at, we've got new AI tools to help automate the process of doing the activities that formerly took hours and hours and hours. They're now taking minutes using AI and some of our other programs. If it sounds like something that you're interested in, visit govconcoaching.com for more information. We look forward to seeing you on May 28th. And so that's when he says the real work begins, because where he faced learning curves in terms of operations and payroll, because remember, up until this time, he had never ran a business before. He was sitting back and investigating businesses and looking at what it takes to build a business, but he had never run a business before. So what he did first was he built out the delivery team, which is recruiting, sourcing, and project coordination, before he started to make the investment in BD and capture. He used staffing style techniques and tactics to gain revenue as a subcontractor before eventually scaling to prime contracts. Then his business started to scale, and he aggressively started pursuing prime contracts. After multiple years as a subcontractor, he leveraged GovBrew, which is his social media brand, to create awareness and start to develop relationships. And from there, he secured a $10 million BPA contract with the VA. That took his revenues from $1 million to $15 million, and that helped grow his business. And so from that point, he had already now accelerated from the 20 employees to the 200 plus employees. So some of the lessons learned from this is, obviously, we know now accelerating your growth through acquisition. So it gives you credibility and capability in the marketplace. He had a strong delivery team, which allowed his company to go into maturity level. He started focusing on BD and capture. And the SBA program, not for the purposes of doing any of the socioeconomic designations that we talk about, he leveraged it to do acquisition, and then he set aside from his veteran status created more additional business opportunities for him. And so the key takeaways was that, one, he looked at different SBA lending programs, which right now under this current administration, they've increased the threshold for lending. He also understood with confidence that there were going to be a business out here that fit what he was looking to do and they could buy it. And then he built the relationships after owning the business that took him onto the trajectory to winning that $10 million plus contract. Now, the thing that he also learned was in the beginning stages, the cash was critical. And because it was a people-centered business, so he had to make payroll. And sometimes it takes up to 90 days from the time that you hire the person, put them on site, and be able to invoice and collect your money. So he had to figure out how to solve for that issue. However, with all that said, again, the SBA Veterans Advantage Loans helped him in the process of acquisition. First Citizens Bank was the bank that he used, was the delegated lender. And then his GovBrew brand created awareness to allow him to develop relationships. And then he used Professional Services Council to help navigate the industry. And he recommends to everyone out there that there's plenty of GovCon brokers that offer listings of sites for acquisition. So some of the things that he left us with that I want to give you guys is he wasn't afraid to swing outside of his weight class. Buying a company gave him a story and a growth vehicle, and relationships matter more than strategy initially. Tell me, what do you think about that? Is that something that you'd be interested in doing? Is that something that you're considering? Or is there some part of the stuff that you need help with? Comment below in the video and let me know if this is helpful to you. By the way, I'm going to put the video up right after this so you can watch the entire video for yourself. And if you get a chance, connect with him on LinkedIn because he's very active on LinkedIn. If you haven't already signed up for GovBrew, take a look at GovBrew. They've got tens of thousands of small businesses on there getting insight and information. Again, a lot of these things we talk about in our content and our videos, but a lot of folks are ignoring them because they're thinking that maybe it's outside of what's the realm of possibilities. But given the new administration is push for encouraging domestic manufacturing, reshoring, the push for that, and then given the increase in the number of baby boomers retiring, I think it's an ideal opportunity for those of us out here to take a chance, take a swing, and see if it's something that exists. Start asking people around you if, in fact, they have someone that they know that might be thinking about selling a business. I can tell you personally, as our students are going through and are calling upon companies for consulting opportunities or teaming opportunities, we're running into every single week owners saying that they're retiring, they're closing the business, right? They're not going to continue beyond a year or two. So the opportunities exist. It's up to you to take advantage of them and to realize that you are greater than what you believe and that those things happen. We have some resources that are available to you. So if you think or you're concerned or you need some help in that, please reach out to someone from my team, set up an assessment call, and see how we can help you.